Welcome to my show. My name is Marcell Johnson, and this is the Freedom Experience.
Man, what's up, y'all? What's up, family? Welcome back to the Freedom Experience. As y'all already know, my name is Marcell Johnson. And first of all, I just got to thank you for tuning in. I'm appreciating all the love. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a vibe. I ask that you, first of all, would like this video, that you would comment, let me know what y'all thinking, what y'all want to hear about, and also subscribe and tell your peoples about the video. But man, I'm excited because I got my bro here today. What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
Thank you for coming to the show, bro. For
Appreciate
sure. His name is Louis Berry. You know what I mean? He's a fitness, football, and athlete coach, a track coach. So basically, bro, you just into being an athlete. And you're into just like fitness and stuff like that. And to me, it's always like a mind over matter thing. Like I had some fitness trainers on here. I know you're a coach and you do track and you do football, but it's always interesting to me the way that you apply fitness into real life. You know what I mean? So I want to kind of get into some of that and tackle that. But first of all, how are you today, bro?
No, I'm great. It's a great day to be here. So
yeah?
I'm enjoying it. Yes, sir.
So listen, y'all, you know I keep it real with y'all, right? So whenever I ask my bro, what does he want to be introduced as, what did you tell him?
Man of God.
Man of God. Like, bro, that to me is everything. I love when people are just secure in their identity and they're okay with just being called a child of God, a man of God, a woman of God. I think a lot of times we get caught up in the titles instead of just in the identity, which is like, you're a child of God. I love that. That's why I was about to say to y'all, like, he's just a man of God. But I'm like, nah, he's a coach. You know what I'm saying? He's track football. So first of all, bro, how did you get into that?
Well, I was pretty much born into sports. So my dad was already, he ran track as well in college. He played football in college, Hall of Fame in both sports. So he was already on that path, and then he was a football coach and a track coach before I was even born. So
your dad was?
Yes, he was. So I can just remember, him taking me to football practice when I was 3-4 years old, down at Peabody High School, and it was just always fun being around, older kids that you look up to. Sports is a big thing here in Pittsburgh, so that was just something that I, was able to cling to.
Yeah.
And then from there, just kind of creating my own path, but within those same sports. So it was something I was always kind of like just a part of, but it was always fun. So I stuck with it.
So you have fun and it sticks with you. So Louis is a coach, football and track of high schoolers. That can be difficult, bro. So when it comes, did you ever teach a little league or older league, or is that always your audience or basically your sector?
Well, football is high school. But track is all ages from 7 to 18. So
they're all there at one time?
Yeah, it's a summer track youth team. So Future Stars Athletics. We've been around since 2005. I started out running. I started out in second grade, finished through high school, and then I came back and started coaching, the younger kids. So it was a little easier because I knew how to relate to them. I knew what it was like.
Because you was there.
Yeah, being dead tired. But it's it's fun seeing them grow throughout the years. And then high school football, I like that part because you kind of get to reach kids before they go off into a new world. And so you're kind of trying to train them for what real life is like, and what habits will work and what habits will lead you to disaster in college. So that's where I feel like I can come in and be an asset to those kids. Yeah. Hopefully, keep them away from things that they maybe were on the road to.
So what are some of the things that you teach them? Like, give me a couple principles that you'll teach a high schooler. Because there might be a high school kid watching this. You know what I mean? We reach all different age groups.
For sure. Well, I try to teach the kids that the world doesn't owe them anything. We kind of, we're growing towards a sense of entitlement more and more.
Ooh, entitlement.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the toughest thing. Everyone thinks that they're going to be the next superstar.
Wow.
But it's never that easy. It comes with a lot of hard work and dedication, consistency, discipline, all of those things that not everybody has. And so I just try to, be hard on them, but also love them first. I try to build up a relationship with the kids first so that they know I'm in their corner, because a lot of people can just yell at you, but you know, once they feel like you love them, once they feel like you care about them, then they're more ready to receive whatever it is that you have to say to them.
I love what he just said because a lot of times that's the way you parent. Like whenever you lead with love, I always tell people lead with love no matter who it is, but especially when you're dealing with youth or kids, you always want to lead with love and make them feel accepted, make them feel loved, and then they'll trust you to be able to take your advice and stuff like that. Then you can lead them in the right direction. But love is like so important, bro, and basically that's what you're saying. You give to them through understanding them, through being in that position, and then you're able to influence them. So how did you get that type of mentality? Like, who raised you? Who spoke life into you? Who kind of taught you those principles?
Well, my mom and dad are always like, you know, just people that I look to in life, and they always built me up, you know, to be, you know, on the right path, you know, not to always look to other people, but to be my own person. So I felt like they kind of gave me that, you know, that sense of identity to know that I was made to be more than just, you know, a regular person.
Yeah.
And they always loved me. Even when, you know, I had 3 sisters, so they kept me in trouble. You know, maybe I need to take some of the blame.
Was you the baby?
No, I was right in the middle of it. So,
the middle child and your boy.
Right.
That's crazy.
So, you know, things got wild in the house sometimes, and you know, I was, you know, a part of that. So
yeah,
I think that they just helped me. They always showed me that even though they're going to discipline me, they still love me, and so I was always able to respect them for that.
Important. Yeah.
So I never took it. I don't know. I maybe took it to heart, maybe, you know, a couple of times, you know, for a few hours, and then you get out your feelings and you realize, especially once you go to college, once you know, get older in life, that I'm so thankful that they, you know, were able to discipline me in certain areas, because it was always for my good. And even if I couldn't see it in the moment, I was able to see it, you know, in the long run.
In the end. That's kind of how God is. He disciplines us, he transforms us, and we don't appreciate it in the moment, but then we look back on it. There's even a Bible verse that says that no discipline is joyful in the moment, but anybody who's trained by it, you know what I'm saying, receives that joy, and they live in that joy. But I want to go back a little bit because I have a friend, his name's Trey, and he's a Pitt football player, and we were just having this big conversation when I was in a meeting, and he was talking about how to become a pro star, like athlete, like whether it's football, basketball, there's so many strings and so many ropes that you have to go through, and so much manipulation that it takes to even be able to reach that place of stardom. So when you said entitlement, there's a lot of times where you might want to just do something and reach the top automatically, but there's a process. And sometimes you don't even want to go through that process. What you think you want might not even be what God has for you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So is that true? Do you find that to be true as far as just like going through them processes and going through them ropes?
Yeah. Is this Trey Tipton?
Yeah.
That's one of my great friends. We went to high school. We you know, competed in high school together.
Wow.
So we were in the same grade from 6th to 12th grade. You know.
Wow.
Competed.
Shout out to Trey. He's gonna be on the show.
Shout out to Trey for sure. He's a great person.
That's what's up.
But yeah, you know, we all have this picture of what we want to do.
Yeah.
But oftentimes we don't know what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's maybe not even what we really want. You know, you get to taste it and then you realize this is not what I thought it was going to be. And so I think in the grand scheme, you just have to trust what God has for you. And you just follow God's path. He knows your desires. He knows what you can handle. He knows what you can't handle.
True.
And so whenever things don't go the way you want them to go, you just kind of got to thank God, even though it may not feel like the best thing in the moment.
Facts. Like a lot of times God is working stuff out. His plan is bigger than us. You got to let God's plan unfold. You can't be trying to manipulate and finesse the plan. But I wanted to talk about, you said your mom and your dad raised you, but you had the sisters, and that caused a lot of trouble. So within that place, did you get lost in your identity? Did you feel kind of overlooked, or what are some of the childhood traumas that you dealt with that you see is still surfacing today, or you might have overcame?
I don't know. I would say I didn't feel like I was overlooked within our family.
Yeah.
I feel like there was always enough love to go around. And
Facts.
so I would give my parents credit for that. I would say maybe one thing that was a little traumatic just growing up was having my parents split up when I was in high school. So
divorce.
Yeah, for sure. So they still have a great relationship, and I respect them for that, because a lot of things,
friendship.
Yeah, some things, you know, end a lot uglier than that. And so I feel like they always handled it professionally.
Yeah.
And they always, you know, still put us first. So I would thank them for that.
I love that.
But you know, it's never easy to go through something like that. And especially for me, I was going into high school. So, you know, you're in 9th grade, you're the youngest there, I was the smallest there, you know, everything's kind of new. I was at a school that was pretty much all white. I was the only
wow.
black kid in my
What school did you go to?
Shady Side Academy.
You went to Shady Side Academy?
Yeah, yep.
Bro, that's where my little cousin, my little peoples go there. That school is blessed.
Yeah, it was
like that's a good experience.
Yep. Every day I would be on campus. I would thank God for that blessing, because I would look around and see something that most people that look like me don't get to experience. But I will say that just being the only black boy in my grade.
Yeah.
In high school, your parents are kind of going through things.
Yeah.
It's a lot in the moment, and I probably didn't realize it. But looking back, I started saying like, wow, I was going through a lot. So I would say that would probably be the biggest thing that I would kind of
like traumatic experience, because it's just like nobody really knows what you're going through, and then you're not able to really process it at the same time.
Right.
So it's like, but you learn perseverance through that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I always say that back to the Shady Side thing. Shady Side is a predominantly white school, but there are some black people that go there. But I always say just going there and looking at the surrounding areas, being able to have an image of what's capable and what's available to you for you to accomplish is so big. So I say show your kids bigger things outside of just your own comfort zone. I don't care if you are rich. Show them the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, allow for your kids to be able to see everything so that they can make a decision on what's available to them. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what happened to me too. Like, I was kind of just exposed to a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm able to relate to you on that. But I feel like when it comes to traumatic experiences, the way that you operated and navigated through that, how do you do that in today's struggles?
I don't know how to answer that question without leaning on God.
Come on.
The attack of the enemy now is just, it feels like it just strengthens every year, every moment. Yeah. And I think that maybe because, once you're trying to grow closer to God and reach what his purpose is, the devil knows he's running on short time. So he's trying to knock you off your path, trying to distract you, hope that you procrastinate. And so, you got to hold on to the anchor. God's the anchor. And if you can stand firm on him, then you can go anywhere. You'll be ready for anything. And he'll put people in your life that, are going through those same troubles and that can help you stay on the path.
I love what he just said, because that was just a mouthful. Y'all might have to rewind that back. But God really is the anchor. And I love the fact you said he'll bring people in your life that's going through stuff too. A lot of times you're faking and pretending you're not going through nothing. Right. Meanwhile, the people you're faking to is going through stuff too. And if y'all would just be transparent and be honest and talk about it, y'all both are there to be able to sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? So be transparent with your circle. I love that you said that. And a lot of times the enemy does try to attack us. You know what I mean? But he can't win. It don't matter what you're going through. It don't matter how much he keep attacking you. He can't win. You're like, the plan is for you to win. Right. You know what I mean? Or you can win. He can't win. But I also wanted to talk about, bro, just how you feel like the kids are affected. The kids that you're operating with, the kids that you're teaching, how do you feel like they're affected with today's society as far as social media?
I feel like it's just a tough time to be a kid.
Why do you say that?
There's so many different things that are just thrown at them that they don't even know what's normal and what's not.
Yes.
When I was a kid, there wasn't as much outside noise. You could just get influenced through your parents. You have your close friends in your circles, But now we have social media. We have, quote unquote influencers. You have celebrities that have direct access to your kids. Yeah. And so these kids, if they don't have parents that are really in their corner, it's easy for them to be influenced in a million different directions, and they don't even know which path to take. And they can, if they're not strong in their identity, they follow whatever the crowd's doing, or they follow whatever the culture's doing, whatever the next trend is. So I really feel for these kids, which is why I want to, be a presence in their lives, because I know that the enemy has them under a microscope, but God has a plan for them as well. And so if we can just get them to God's plan, we can get the enemy out of the picture.
Bro, like, it's like God's plan for you is to help the kids get into their plan. Everybody is it's like the mission and the goal is for us all to become a part of each other's plan and fulfilling the ultimate plan. So what is the solution to that with social media? Is it like take your kids off of social media? Is it like what do you think?
Man, I feel like you do have to kind of take your kids off of social media. For me, because, or at least show them what's real and what's not. Because I think social media can be, kind of toxic. and it's not that it's social media, it's that what do we look to social media for? Because there are great things that can come from social media, but there's a lot of bad things as well. So I think you almost have to prepare your child for social media the way you would prepare them for high school or college or middle school, because
that's so true.
There's so much that kind of gets thrown at them and they don't even know what's really going on.
Yeah.
So, I hate to be someone who would like, really be on your kid like that, but the enemy's at work, and so you definitely want to help them realize that, everybody's not in your corner. Everybody doesn't want the best for you.
Come on.
Everything that you see on social media is not real.
True.
And so once you can kind of give them a new perspective, then I think they're able to receive the gift of social media and use it the way, it could be used, in the right
How
light.
do you use social media?
I really try. I would say this. What I do is I'm off of social media throughout the week.
Okay.
Because I do have a lot of friends on there, a lot of people that I connect with. So I didn't want to just throw it all away.
Yeah.
And I think that there's some good there. If you're like what you're doing, you're a man of God and you're preaching God's message out there. And so I think there's a space for that, because there are a lot of people on social media that are hurting, that are going through things. And so I think to just remove it from your lives would kind of be selfish, in a sense that there could be people that can grow from what you have to share. So I think just using it just letting God transform it so that he can use it the way he wants you to use it is huge. But besides that, you kind of just have to be vigilant. And that's with everything. It's not just social media. You got to be on guard and have that spirit of discernment to know what's real, what's fake, what's helpful, what's destructive. Yep.
Wow. So, bro, it's just like, don't throw away social media, but use it to be the light. Use your social media as a platform to be able to push God's plan, or whatever it is that you do it, but do it with love, do it with light, and push that on social media, and tell your kids to be attracted to that. Kind of like prepare your kids to look to social media to be encouraged and influenced, but in a positive way. Correct. I love that you say that, bro. And I love that you take a break from social media. A lot of times you just it's too much. Like, it's not that it's bad, but it's just too much. You got to get off of there for a minute, let your brain detox from all the stuff that you just was observing, and then jump back on there and be the light. That's what we do. Sure. You know what I mean? So I also wanted to talk to you, bro, about you are the fourth, right? So it's just like, his name is Lewis Berry the fourth. Right. So tell me about kind of what it feels like to be the fourth.
Well, I would say that it's, and as a young kid, Lewis isn't really a name that you like to look forward to. You're like 5 years old getting called Lewis. So they gave me a nickname, But
what they call you? What's your nickname?
Manny's my nickname.
Oh, all right.
Started out as little man, Manny.
Okay, so, they gravitated. Okay.
But
evolution.
But once I started, seeing how my dad was, how my grandfather is. I never met my great grandfather, but I can just kind of see, my dad and my grandfather about business. Wow. They're serious, and I feel like they're really people that I can look to for advice and to just show me how to do things the right way. So I would say that it kind of gives you a sense of like victory, because you know, like you're connected to greatness. And I say that humbly, but I say it respectfully as well, that you're connected to greatness. And so it kind of gives you that sense of like, I'm not like everyone else. Hopefully I'm humble as well when I say that, but there's a purpose for me. Like, I'm not just going to be out here living, recklessly, but there's a purpose for why I'm here.
I think it gives you confidence when your family before you breaks generational curses and they open up new doors for you. It gives your kids a sense of confidence to know, listen, I come from people who fight demons. I come through people who break generational curses, who open up businesses, who stop addictions, who overcome different bad, toxic mentalities. And now I can step into that promise. So it's so important. How important is it to break generational curses for people our age that has kids, or even people older that didn't do it yet, or even for the kids?
I would say that it's tremendously huge, because you're doing something not just for yourself, but you're looking towards the future, and you don't want your kids to go through the same things that you went through.
That's right.
And so I'm thankful that my parents were able to break cycles. And, every generation I feel like gets better.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
My dad always said that, and his dad always told him that the next generation should be better than what than the life you experience. And so
You know
I'm
what I
thankful for
found?
that.
Oh, I'm sorry, go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. I'm thankful for that. Go ahead.
I'm thankful for it too. You know what I found though, bro? This thought was just bubbling in my mind, but what I thought was just like, some of our elders failed us because it's like they don't break the generational curse,
Right.
and then it gets passed down to the generation under them, and then them being older and no longer being attacked in that way, sit back and judge the
Right.
kids and judge them, and it's just like, dude, if you would have broke this generation, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be having to deal with it. So now I gotta break it, but in the process of that, just encourage me, don't judge me in the process of that. And when I talk to different guests and stuff, I noticed that, you know what I mean, that's kind of part of this cycle. But I love the fact that my generation, the generation under me, we are breaking and we're coming out into more freedom. That's what this is all about. You know what I mean? But I wanted to say, bro, what do you think, like, how would you say a relationship with God has helped you through all your trials? Because I know you've been through a ton of stuff still.
I would say that he showed me what matters and what doesn't matter. Some of the things that I thought were just like make or break, he showed me like, it doesn't matter. As long as you're connected to me, that's the only thing that you need, because I'll continue to order your steps day after day. And so, you know, even in the Bible, it says like trials are going to come.
Yeah.
But you have to take heart, because what we tend to think is that if you have God, nothing bad will happen. But that's
Negative.
the opposite. That's not
Negative.
biblical. It ensures you that something, you know, things will happen to you, because we just live in a sinful world. But
Yeah, facts.
whenever those things do come to you, you just have God to lean on, and he's just going to strengthen your faith. And when you have more faith, you can do bigger things, and you can give him more glory and bring more people to him. We're not here to be served. We're here to serve and to give glory back to God. And so once we realize that it's not about us, then we can, you know, have that humility and bring people along the ride, because we're all going towards some purpose, and hopefully, you know, we are on that right track.
Bro, as you're talking, you are preaching, bro. Like, you're saying everything that needs to be said. I hope y'all are just catching what he is saying. Like, every single word you're saying is so important. It's just like, the more faith you have, the more strength you have, the more you can do that'll bring more glory to God.
Right.
Ultimately leading you back to where you came from. Man, listen, it's so important to get around people who speak life. You know what I'm saying? Get your circle group. How important is it to be around friends that speak life into you, or that, you know what I mean, cultivate that heaven atmosphere?
It's a big deal, because you're going to be influenced no matter what. So it's about
True.
where you being influenced towards, you know. And so I recently found a godly community. It's called Digging Deep Ministries,
Okay.
DDM for short.
Okay.
You know, one of my brothers from high school brought me along the path probably about 8 months ago.
Okay.
And I found real healing in there, because you have a group of men that are honest, that are open, that are transparent, that are talking about the things that they've gone through, that they're going through.
Telling y'all.
And, you know, we're just leaning on each other with prayer, encouragement, love, laughter. We always have a great time. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just serious. But
No, you gotta have a bath.
yeah, you know, so we always just circle around God in those circles. And once you have those people in your circle, they start to help you elevate, because whatever you're around, you're going to duplicate.
Come
And
on.
so those things are tremendous for me. Also, most of them are older than me. So I think that it's important that you have those older, wiser people that have gone through the things you're about to go through or are going through. And so once you have those type of people in your circle, it's almost like a cheat code to success. You know? So
Facts. You
I think
gotta
it's
like
huge.
get around your elders and your mentors. What are some things you felt like you healed from?
Comparison, idolatry, pride. So we read books, you know, centered on the Word of God, but we read books. And the first book that we read was Humility by Andrew Murray. And so we kind of just we just dug into what it means to be humble, and I think it opened up my eyes to a new perspective on humility and rooting out pride, because pride just leads to every other sin that there is out there. Yeah, so that's just huge for me, having those things where you can just dig deep and speak and, you know, be open and transparent.
Yeah. You spoke on comparison. A lot of people compare. That's the problem. Like, what's for me is for me. What's for you is for you. You know what I'm saying? But how were you able to break out of that? Well, or what did you learn?
I think it started whenever, you know, I was in college and God was calling me to, you know, just take a break from social media. You know, not a full fast, but, you know, just, you know, be intentional on how you use it.
Okay.
And so being off of it throughout the week would help me realize, like, wow, I'm not worried about what everybody else is doing. And I think that social media is huge in that it promotes self-comparison, with other people.
True.
Because what goes on is you're looking at everybody else's best day, and you're comparing it to what you're going through in the moment.
Come on.
And so that's destructive because it makes you think that you always have to live up to a certain standard, and you can't just be human. It's okay to have tough times.
True.
It's okay to have trials. It's okay to go through things. As long as you bounce back, as long as you know whose child you are, and you have your identity in God, then everything else is just just going through the motions. But you don't have to look to other people to determine how successful you are. Whatever God calls success is what it is.
Bro, mic drop. Like, bro, mic drop. Like, bro, that's so true. Like, social media, people on there, they only show their best days.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's okay to show your flaws, show your imperfections, let people know you're a human. You know what I mean? And what if we use social media only to show our flaws and our imperfections? Then everybody, the comparison spirit will be out the window. People will be like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all elevating. Another thing that you said was that true success is what God calls for you to do, and you to just obey that and do it.
Right.
Like you said, whatever God calls successful is success, and not what the world says, not what social media looks like, not what it appears to be. I love that. God can tell you raise your kid, and you doing that is success.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? God can tell you become a football coach, become a track coach. That can be successful. Start a show. That's your success.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that God's telling you to do, that is success. And ultimately, bro, I found true success is just having a relationship with God.
For sure.
That right there causes you to be successful.
Yep. It leads you down the path of life, whereas the opposite leads you to destruction. And
Come
so,
on.
As long as you're connected to God, man, every day is just going to be a blessing because even when it hurts, it's leading you to something greater. Whereas if you're not connected to God, the pain is just the pain. It's leading you. It's leading you down to some more pain.
Just more pain.
Yeah. So just
Wow.
get off of that path. Get on the right path.
Come on.
So that even your pains can turn to W's.
Yeah, exactly. You don't take L's, you just take lessons.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, your pain turned into W's, your winning season.
Yep.
It's like with God, even whenever it's a trial, tribulation, is leading you to more glory, leading you to what you really want. But whenever it's like not with God, you're just, like you said, it's leading you to more pain. Yeah. It's like, why are you just going to be, you know what I'm saying, on the road to destruction when you could be on the road to life? But I always like to end the show, man. First of all, thank you for coming, bro.
Thank you for
I
having
appreciate you.
me.
You dropped so many gems, you know what I'm saying? I could just sense God's spirit over you. I know for a fact that our Father in heaven is pleased with you. You're literally making an impact with all the kids, every single spirit that you touch, and it's more than the kids, even the parents. Mm-hmm. The parents who will get influenced by the kids. It's like out of the mouth of babes, God will save his people. Right. And you are raising them up and you are training them and you're doing things that a lot of parents at home aren't doing. So God is awarding you. You have a shepherd's heart. And God is saying, when the great shepherd comes, he is going to reward you. And not just a little bit, but he's going to bless you with honor for all of eternity. So keep doing that.
Thank you,
like, I'm proud of you for that.
Appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? But I always like, my bad, I had to just speak a word to him, but I always like to end the show off with words of wisdom. And bro already dropped so many gems. He been giving us words of wisdom the whole time. But give us something that you would consider your words of wisdom, like a mantra that you say.
All right. Well, I'll bring it back to scripture. And I will go to Romans 12:2.
Okay.
It says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve of God's will and what his good, pleasing, and perfect will is. So I think what we do is we get caught up, and I'll include myself in this, we get caught up into what does the culture tell us to do? What does the world tell us to do?
Wow.
But that's going to be really hard to find out your God-given purpose when you're living by the world standards. So if you don't conform to that paradigm, if you transform your mind, renew your mind every day with the Word of God, it's going to give you a whole new purpose. It's going to drive you to a whole new meaning, and then you just get to wake up and enjoy the ride, have fun, and just keep your faith in God.
Bro, that was so, once again, renew your mind in God, wake up and have fun, and enjoy the journey. You said it perfect, bro. Thank you so much. And y'all already know what my words of wisdom is because I always say it. So say it with us. You ready? It's time. Find freedom. It's time.
Found God.
Hey, let's go, man. Peace. We love you. I'll see you next time.
The FENMO experience.